virtually because of.
We are in the conference room E, so yes.
Okay, all right. So it is at conference room E, remote hybrid conferencing meeting. The meeting will be live streamed on the school board's YouTube channel at https://www.youtube.com/@ Beaufort County School Board. To speak during legislative committee public comments, please sign up using the public comment form. You can find the Board of Education public comment form on our website at https://about-us/board-of-ed/public-comments. You'll receive a phone call during public comments where you'll be able to speak and address the committee for a maximum of 3 minutes on issues within the committee's domain. The forum will be limited to 15 minutes. Citizens desiring to speak in person must fill out a public comment card that can be obtained from the board clerk upon arrival. Excuse me. With that, is there a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, I second. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Kay, aye.
Okay.
Gordon, aye.
Okay, passes 3-0. Thank you. Please join in a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America and to the
republic
for
which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Cushingberry, has the media been properly notified?
Yes, sir.
Did she say yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any public comments?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there a motion for approval of the August 13th and September 10th meeting notes?
We don't have.
So moved.
No, it's
We don't.
It's just the August 13th.
I can't hear.
It's just August 13th. Robin, it is hard to hear you. It's not coming through clearly for some reason.
We don't have mics in the room, so we have to speak up. Can you hear me?
Got it. Mr. Dallas, she said they don't have mics in the room, so she's having to holler.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is that going to affect the quality of the meeting for others?
Possibly.
We just have to speak toward the screen and everyone has to speak up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm not sure Mr. Dallas can.
It is very light. So okay. Well, let's try to move forward so we can actually set up the meeting for October 29th. Okay, we just had approval. We talk about the legislative committee position. One of the questions that came since the last meeting is how we're going to use this information. And, you know, we talked about our position statement is proactive search, meaning we don't wait for things. We go out and look for opportunities where we can make a difference. We want to discover new methodologies, new interpretations. We want to discuss, and then we want to decide in a very methodical manner moving forward. And we had 2 ideation sessions, August 13th and September the 10th. And I think we have those 2 documents that are included. And the first order of business is to talk about how we want to handle those. And then we have 2 items that we want to discuss in terms of future conversations. And then we'll end up with a solicitation of new items for the October 29th meeting. So the intent is to ask all members and participants and board members today who are in attendance, and we'll inform those who are not attending, we really want you to go through and number the items that you show that on those 2 documents. So you can come in with your list of priorities. And we intend to use Menti system, as the superintendent does, to rank those in a very efficient manner. There will be time for conversations, for promotion of ideas, and so that we can move through as many of these things and say which are the ones that carry, we believe, the best benefit for the organization. And keeping in mind, we're asking people doing the ideation to not be constrained by, what we believe is acceptable, because as situations change, responses have to change. And so with that, let me stop there and see if there's any feedback, guidance, concerns, excuse me, from the committee members, and then we'll open it up to the larger group of board members attending. Ms. Hay or Gordon, any comments, feedback,
No,
brickback?
sir.
No, not from me.
Let's see, who else is in attendance? Colonel Geyer?
He doesn't.
Okay, he's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Smith, any guidance, feedback?
In terms of my bad. I was logging my computer. I won't pay attention. In terms of what I just said.
I can't hear Mr.
Yes, sir. So yeah, my thing would be yes, sir. In terms of, I was reading over the agenda, the notes, and I was at a program here recently, and we were last thing we talked about possibly getting community engagement in the district and getting community engagement up, and there was a church choir that was performing, and so afterward, the pastor, he was bragging about how good his choir was. He had the #1 choir in the county, and so I told him, I said, is that what you really? I said, you don't really think that? I said, oh no. I said, no. There's some other competition out there. He said, well, who bring them? And so another pastor looked over. He's like, well, huh? And so basically, I told him that the district possibly looking to have a choir competition. He's like, when? So basically, they got excited, and there was a move, like they want to know when and what we got to do. So I figured with that energy, with the energy where it was at, that it would be like that we would need to move on that because we didn't want to let that die down. And I think that would be a good segue to get community involved with the churches, because we said that in a minute we want to send out these technology surveys and different surveys. So now you engage in another community that you possibly didn't have. So now you're building community togetherness along with the district, and also you're tapping into another avenue of how to get information out. So I don't think that we want to wait too long to move on that. And so my question would be, did this want to be a board incentive or staff incentive?
Well, go ahead.
Okay. You go ahead.
Okay, so the intent is to basically have freewheeling conversation and then basically consolidate around what the top ones are, and share that with the board. The superintendent along the way and his staff have to be a part of it, because even though the initial intent was to help energize the board so that we all 11 of us are carrying a synchronized, calibrated message that's married with our independent, engagement and links into the community, so that we too become a reinforcement mechanism for the great things that are happening and the things that are being considered. So what you're saying, that type of natural enthusiasm, that is such a motivator. So where when it comes time for us after we've decided and culled down, absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll work out the details along the way with board approval, guidance from the chair, and calibration with the superintendent so that it's a seamless operation if it's approved. So thank you for that. So if I may talk about, one of the key things is going to be that we calibrate. So the numerical voting will be very important, and the personal stories will also be very important. So that the example Mr. Smith just gave shows there's some latent energy just below the surface, and if we can tap into it, I think we can help get our message much deeper into the community in terms of awareness. So excellent, excellent. So please set your schedules aside for October the 29th for a 1 p.m. meeting. The one today was designed to be short to make sure everyone's on board. We're all calibrated and able to pose questions today. Excuse me. We then will hopefully be able to have a calibration meeting where we rank collectively and move that to the board for any November meeting so that we have all of our decision points completed, so that we can move forward in the month of December. And if it's approved by the board and calibration with the superintendent, then as we are circulating in the community over the holidays, we'll hopefully have some idea of what can be said and done. So that takes, at this point, through the first items on the agenda. So let me stop there and see, are there any questions, guidance? All commentary is welcome. Everybody clear as mud? Hello. Ms. Cushingberry, Ms. Hay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ms. Gore, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear. I'm clear as mud.
Okay, are you two okay with what we've discussed so far?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, sir.
are you okay with
Yeah,
what
yes, sir.
Ms. Frazier, is she still on?
He's not on.
Did Ms. Cushingberry say she's not on?
Not on.
Okay. Colonel Geyer?
Where's mine?
Okay. All right. Then if everyone's okay with that idea and sort of notional timeline, we'd like to discuss the two items that are listed below. One is the EIA funding for expansion of Beaufort County School District Extending Learning Centers. And let me just share some learning. Firstly, I don't know if we have any of our finance committee members that are here today as well, but in reading through the phenomenal budget book, and as I've shared with some, Colonel Geyer said about a year ago in a real comfortable conversation that that budget book is a heck of a tool. And so far, I've read through and made notations on 166 of the 216 pages. It is packed with data, with programs, with explanations. It's just a phenomenal document. And so one of the things I read was where EIA funding from the federal government, if I recall correctly, was used to help create the extended learning center. And I know that in talking with the superintendent subsequently, there's analysis underway to empirically basically see how those impact performance. And so one of the bright lights that's come on in my mind over the last 2.5 years is how important the family is in helping kids become high performers. and optimizing their academic performance and career success. And so one of the things, hopefully there can be some discussion, is if there were to be a third referendum, might we be proponents of, after rigorous study and debate, proponents of creating a whole new concentric circle of ELCs? So that's where that thought comes from. So let me stand down and ask for raw, honest feedback. So for the two board members, would either one of you committee members, would you like to lead the way?
No, I don't have any comments on this item at the moment.
Okay, please research it if you will. And as the administration comes forward, any excuse me, analysis they're doing, that will be very, very good grist for our mill. Thank you, Ms. Hay. Ms. Gordon?
I'm just trying to figure out how this lines up with legislation, and would we be putting it in the form of legislation if we take this on?
Yes to both. The way
Okay.
it would line up is if you'll look at the participation rate of the 4 education options, we are showing declines as public schools. The others are showing increases. So there is a shift. And so that came about because of legislation that approved that and helped fund that. Rightfully so, because they're getting feedback from the citizen, this is what we want. And they have to respond to the citizenry. So if we take in every student, that means our demographic segments, the composition can be very different from other options. And
Okay.
so if we're going to have, rightfully so, take in every student, then we might need additional resources that the others don't, because maybe in other educational options, families are really, coming to the forefront, and, through beneficial situations, they are able to take care of their kids, provide more support for their kids, more academic type things that the Ms. Stratus and her group have shown really make a difference in the early stages of brain development. And so if our kids are going to come in sort of, maybe at a deficit, not necessarily so, but maybe and by our kids, I mean all kids, maybe at a deficit, then it might be worthwhile for us to think about what legislation could we move forward to close the gap, if that helps explain some of the thoughts.
Okay, got it.
Let's see, who else? Mr. Smith?
At this time, I'm just listening and kind of just I'm just listening and kind of and I'm just listening at this time.
Okay. Colonel Geyer?
I understand the objective, but I don't know the details on how the execution of that to meet that objective is going to play out. But concept's good, the end state is good, but the devil's in the details, and I think there's not enough detail to really comment right now.
Totally agree, Colonel. And the rationale for raising it is just to get people sort of wetting their wick and thinking about it and engaging, so that we can start formulating some of those go, no go decision points that are required. Does that take care of all board members?
Yeah.
Okay. If there are no further questions on that particular item, Colonel, would you like to speak about the Savannah River Nuclear Site Classroom Partnership, or? or would you like me to?
Please, if you would.
Okay. So one of the things that we have tried to respond to in terms of um, the school district, the board, the chair, the superintendent, board members. We have some very talented people who are helping us move towards a stronger foundation for technology and uh, different jobs that are being created. And as a result of that, one of the things that came across was the Savannah River Nuclear Solutions, which is the marketing and administrative arm of Savannah River Nuclear Plant, which I toured about 12 years ago. And that plant is strategically important to the U.S. Military and defense of our country. And so one of the things that they now do, in addition to making sure that, what they are there to produce is done, that they are reaching out. They have engaged and signed partnership agreements with 15 school districts in the state of Georgia and the state of South Carolina, where Savannah River Nuclear Solutions, they actually engage classrooms. They actually bring those school districts onto their physical plant, not the most important parts, but they have an area that they bring them into classrooms and they take them on expeditions. For example, they show how soil erosion contributes to the value of the land and how that occurs. And so it's just an amazing sharing of information with school districts. And the Beaufort County School District has contacted them to say, hey, what about us? Can we sign up something with you? And we found out that in spite of the enthusiasm of the gentleman who led that response, we found out that their catchment area does not extend this far. But what we thought was very positive is they came back and shared with us 6 virtual courses that they can actually deliver to Beaufort County School District students. And those students don't risk loss of seat time. That's been funneled over to the superintendent for, proper, as the colonel says, ironing out the details, making sure is it doable, is it feasible? And so we just wanted to share. That's the type of thing that, maybe we can help raise the profile of BCSD as one of the leading technology schools, even more so than we currently are, one of the leading technology districts in the state. So that is the idea. And so part of that would be engaging our state legislatures, the South Carolina delegation. So guidance, comments? Ms. Gordon?
No comments at this time. It sounds like like you say, something that we need to definitely look at. It's great. Sounds great.
Okay. Ms. Hay?
I have nothing to add. It does sound like a good opportunity.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you both, ma'ams. Mr. Smith?
Well, what I would say, what I would say that it sounds like a great opportunity. One of my only concerns would be that, I know how sometimes I learn as a person more of a hands-on, and I think that possibly it would be interesting just to continue to look into it, because is the question that becomes, when the kids are actually on site, what all are they able to do and what does that look like? Because I would want them to be a part of a program, and it's more based upon them being hands-on and not getting the actual, the actual experience, the full experience of it. I think the full experience does matter because once again, we do know that and everyone don't always learn the same. So I just think that I mean it's a good opportunity. I'm looking forward, but that's just one thing that pops out at me to wonder what that is like. But I'm interested. I'm intrigued to hear more.
Okay, so we've noted that as a watch point to relate to the superintendent and his staff as they do the consideration process. Colonel Geyer?
I have nothing to add. I share Mr. Smith's questions about how applicable a virtual program will be. Some of them will be very interactive, where they have to actually manipulate data, and that might be okay, but I have to kind of see a product before I have any pluses or minuses of this.
Sound excellent point, sir. That capture all committee or board members?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we may share, if you'll look at the last bullet, you'll see let's take the word out possible and see if we can ask that the board members, committee members, as well as board members, that we start moving forward on setting up the meeting for October the 29th and where we can actually have a system very similar to what the superintendent did for our strategies, where lots of strategies were offered, and then we went through the Menti process so that we could get down to the critical few so that we can move forward. So are there any other questions, comments prior to adjournment?
Are committee members available October 29th?
Can't hear.
Are committee members available October 29th?
Oh,
Gordon's available.
Dallas is available. Ms. Hay, are you still here? Her internet has dropped, so we'll follow up with that. Let's go forward, Ms. Cushingberry, with a solicitation that we would like to schedule a meeting for October the 29th at 1 p.m. And we'll capture the notes from this so that all the other board members are aware of the importance, and we'll seek to calibrate it, and we'll be flexible in whatever date works for the board, and the chair can guide us on that as well.
Got it.
Any other comments or guidance for the good of the order?
Nothing.
Okay,
Okay.
well, thank you all, and be safe out there. I think that was Hill Street Blues that said something like that.